Hello, everyone. Well, here you'll see me relocating this drain. Funny part about this is I do it, I'm cutting it, and then I'm going to relocate it a little bit closer to the wall. That's not there right now. But then I realized, nope, I want it a little bit closer. And I end up disassembling the work that I'm doing right here. What I'd like to say about that is always make sure you have a plan. Um, I have a plan, but I did not write it out. And that's always an issue because sometimes you see things in your head that don't work or will not work in the space that you're dealing with, which is why I had the issue here with that sink. The sink that I wanted to put there, the cabinet, is not going to fit because I didn't draft out a plan and didn't follow the plan. I just had an idea in my head. It's like, it's closer to another bathroom I know about. Let me just do it. But the measurements are off. So they didn't match exactly. So it threw everything off and you can't do it. But I found an adjustment and I'm doing the adjustment and it's going to work. Again, remember, when you're putting together CPVC or PVC with this cement, which is the glue, hold it. Hold it in place so that it stays because it'll push out on you sometime. So I hold it for a couple, probably 30 seconds or so, just to make sure it's not pushing out. And if I see it still pushing out, I'll just hold it longer. Because you want it to be a nice seal so you don't have leaks and have to go back in and redo stuff. One of the things I'm showing you here is I figured out the slope and how I'm making sure once I take it apart, which you couldn't see because I think it's supposed to be in 4-speed. But what you do is once you have your slope and you've checked it with your level, mark both pipes so that when you put them back together, the lines line up, boom, you know you're in the right place. Now here, what you see me doing is that I'm building out. We've moved on from drains and we're putting the HVAC system in. And the system has these ceiling units and it's supposed to be able to slide into floor joist or ceiling joist, 16 on center. Well, these are not 16 on center. So I'm having to build them out a little bit. And so that's what I'm doing there, that wood. And I'll tell you, this is the second one I'm installed. You guys didn't see the first one. The first one's further over. And I did that one without video. Wasn't thinking about it, just didn't do it. And it didn't matter anyway. That was a pain in the butt. I think I spent 2.5 hours trying to get it right. I kept making dumb errors. And then when I thought I had it right, it was wrong. And I was trying to fix that. So ended up scrapping the idea because one of the problems is these units, you'll see one here in a minute. They are 51 inches long and like 13 inches wide. And they're not too terribly heavy, but they're awkward to hold up in the air. So how do you hold something like that up in the air and screw it to the joist? That was my problem. It was a little bit too heavy. So I was coming up with ways of supporting it with other pieces of wood and not thinking all the way through. But I figured it out, so I can do it. I'm doing it. That's one of the things that I will say about me or anything that I do. If I decide to do it, I don't let anything stop me. I just keep going. Like I was telling you guys about the drain earlier, I was starting to wonder if I needed someone else to do it. And I was going to let a plumber do it. But then I came up with the idea of how to get it done myself. So I just did it. But the reality is, even if I would have gotten a plumber, it still didn't stop me. I found another way to make it happen, right? So whatever your project is, find a way to get it done. That's one of the things I say. Do not let anything stop you. If it's something you want, go get it. So far off in the distance is the unit that's going up there. And in a couple of moments, you'll see it. So because the space is smaller, originally we had 4 units, which thank God I don't have to put in 4 of them. Now it's 2. because it's a smaller space. And these two are actually a little bit big for the space, meaning they should be able to heat and cool it really well because I got them a little oversized. And when I say oversized, I'm not talking about the actual physical size of it. I mean the production that they'll put out. So it should be able to do a little more. There it is. See the unit? It's pretty big. Getting ready to lift it up there and put it in, baby. Look at that. Strong man. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to hold it up there, get a screw, put it in the top of the drill, and start one bolt. And it fell down. I got it started a little bit, though, but it fell down on me. So I got it started enough so it'll hold it up there. Because once you get one bolt in, then you're good to go. You can have something holding, and you can put the other one up. And that's what I did. It was creative. And the way that I'm doing it, honestly, is that I put a board up there across those two I-beams so that I can rest it on that while I hold it with one hand to push it all the way up against the beams. Here we go. We're going to show it. See? Boom. Now look over here to the left. There's a board right there. That board is holding it up on that end until I get, the screws in. I don't even know what that was, why we had to show that. I'm going to cut that out. But here, I'm taking that board out and removing it and going ahead and screwing this unit all the way to the ceiling. This unit is not really difficult, to be quite honest. This is a little bit awkward. If it was made different, they could have made it different and it'd be a lot easier for one person to install. They really made it so that two people would install it, but I'm a loner when it comes to my projects. I kind of like to do everything myself. If I'm working on it, I want to work on it. I don't really want help. If I get, like I said, though, if I can't figure out a way to get it done by myself, then I'll get some help or get someone else to do it. When I first got these units, one of the electricians that came out to give me a quote was like, hey, if you want me to, I can install those too. And I was like, okay, how much? And he was like, $700. And I was like, if you help me. And I was like, I do it with you and you charge you $700. Like, nah, I'll let you know. I'm not doing that, obviously. I mean, the hardest part is that. The rest of it is just hooking lines in. Boom, there it is. It's installed. I'm getting ready to move that little board. Boom, it's gone. And here's the other one. I did that a day ago. They're installed right there. I don't have any of the line sets or the communication lines in. They're just installed. But here in a moment, I'm going to start cutting the holes so that I can fish the communication lines out the house to the main unit. And so you guys will get a chance to see a little bit of that. Now it looks like I'm just walking around trying to figure out what's the next step, which that happens in moments. Like, what do I want to do next? Because I still got quite a few things down here to do. And I'll have them all done tomorrow, most likely. I need to finish up this HVAC. And then I got to put the vent. Not the vent, but the fan for the bathroom and build the final walls for the bathroom. I need all that in before the electrician comes. But I've contacted the electrician. He hasn't responded. So I don't know. I might be looking for a new electrician. If he doesn't talk to me tomorrow, I'll be looking for another one. I do minor electrical. I will not do this kind of electrical. It's too much. And electrical can cause fires and kill people. So I try not to do stuff I don't know how to do. And look, that's me. I just bored that hole and I reset up the camera so you can see. This is the one that is a little scary to do, because you're cutting a hole to go to the outside of the house. And if you screw it up, you got a big old hole in front of you, inside of your house. So this one was scary to do, but hey, I've done them before, so not as scary, but it's still in the back of your head. You can mess up. I mean, I mess up stuff all the time. It just happens. You forget something and do something crazy. But you remember once you mess up. So here we're cutting. In a second, you'll probably see some light come through. Made it to the outside. The bore, the wood here is a lot bigger, right? Because it's going across the sill plate, not the sill plate. I can't think of none right now. I am really tired. Watch tomorrow. I'll be like, oh yeah, this is what I was trying to say. But anyway, look right here. I am trying to cut again with that same one. And it's not, it's going around, but it's really just burning. It's got dull that quick. And it wasn't cheap. Milwaukee. Y'all gotta do better, man. That saw the whole saw sucked. I used it for one good one right there to the left. The other one was so thin you can't even count that as cutting, and it won't cut. I actually had to stop after this and go buy another one because it wouldn't cut through. But here's me on the outside. There it is. That's what it looks like.